bakope honorable master Kofi Jumah na no ade ya na udi mfinchia aduosun enum 75 years enti ajane ma yakotra ne nche ya ye ni esi nkomo Saturday no a ene to azuze Sunday so ye traffic aka ye ti kwa ne se pick up mienu aba wura fie ho a omo ba ya mema tintina wafuo omo si ya omo se master Kofi Jumah ye say yam fanin free kuma say yam bra and climb and there ye say EOCO no ye managing director no car no use no what the abafi and that's what the abafi na EOCO for no e dia and am so say car no enya EOCO for dia bi na the condition of service no e after 4 years no otimi eto sa car no it is the necessary process here no want to pass to biano wafaso wama SC4 ayeka no evaluation amano amede hu figure wo se wutia board approval aba board approval letter no to enie na e ben the transfer letter ejigi okwo e dey ba ma to Kofi Jumah di mu so enu tutu ni e dey nyina tre o mo se da na order ne se
na ne e dey ka no
Hyundai Genesis.
Wow. Yes, saloon car.
Genesis. Saloon car. And it's South Korea for Hyundai. Hyundai, yo. Hyundai, yo. And I'm Papa, Equatina, Central Police Station, 230. Ebesi amati foi ena omobefa no ntimi de make that po na go atem no na me girafie wo bi eti e kwatira no ho police station ya ne se ahomati 4 omode pick up asa befa no a yeso tuatu ka e de
na ba bo sa ka no a odi pepe se kire wo mu no na ka no asi ho
da bi ka no de won krai ha
anti wa mo na den ne wa mo se ka no na e in contention o mbefa ka no nko
oh
na chire ya
yo and this is ya arrangement ya de car no kra no e ba ho so
me ba do ka ne ayi Hyundai na enya mu no
ya bi o de car o use 2017 na o ko ye no and now after 4 years what fit you ko and why you bia when
ne bompa no kura se bubu because ne kwan ne
enya sem kitwo eni se akoba ni se na me de me ya kura ni se unzo na bu Kofi Jumah be 2 years ago yi na de ho mfa no bra kwa me munyina mo
ni me wofa
yare e be ball no a de so ti ye me go na me ka se sa yare e be ball no abu e ma ne so ti ye se te do ti ati se dun ke ti na ball no a e ga ye nya ho number akukura wo ofa nyame etime akrokura ni mu a odi ne nkwa ache no odi titi wo kakra kre ya ye sha ko edi na kofa amani mu bie mu
oh
ti bra kwam ya samba ne ba ni so fe wa hata ana bijira gate ya na wo mu so nua no ma bia o mo ma dem hu ana mjira bia si na nua no ade na kwa
eno no woni ni twi sa nua no a enso no guso na agu hu no
oh
woni ni twi
dabi
ye fa na akorokra
ya fa ni sai
akorokra
me fa akorokra mu
aha ti amachi de bo onwum bi ni maso ama wo se na wo sua burumi kwa ye mu o emu akorokra na ekumi nyame emizuni fere Maria Chichirano aha akorokra no ai
ebi na to me won kra but is you
sa na wasi egu
oh eti dia NDC 4 years there ba kwa mu fa ma no ntum
ba ye kan se
ye no de ahomtio
na da ne yan kan se bia mra ena ni die
eti mra no na wa he afa de mra na afa na wa bai emra na wa he no afa na mra abai o ti ase emra no na wa he After the Mray and a fena unity and Mran in United States, a papa so I start to invite in the park, Yanni didn't come on. I was my papa afternoon. Now we're here after the Adania, I'm not Yanina or home. May near my dress and my bank and say, as much as
I see. Now, what do you know? Obianca be Bianchem.
There be almost not contain inside the hall.
And if I'm okay.
Kaukudi, natural security, Kaukudi. Watching saying, no. Tomato. And I hear lawyers, there is my coat over. Yes, over to me in our Kasa.
Yeah, but why? Salam Mustafa, a national youth organizer of the new patriotic party. I'm going to say,
Nanyadum Boko, Mehuyepa.
Obiawe na anano na metesa Alhaji Hanan Balastok former CEO wa mo abechi no wa mo chiri wie ya mo ova covid ma wa ma sa onso wa mo akwachi no na yemfefi Alhaji Hanan de no ade wa mo so aye dai
yo medase mamincha ochefo nyina nukwe say yache minia Alhaji Hanan, former CEO, Edima Bafastock. In fact, enye ononkwana etie no ho kanfo eka ho meyire. Nti ye kasa sesiai ono ne ye nyina omoda fiase. Since Wednesday, kilene omoda fiase. Wednesday na yenya ntie se EOCO ama Hanan invitation say ombra na ombe yina no esa nyama ba kumini biso ana opini ekoye dan komodie no ana omofa no Kofi ekoche ne yere ene nsembebre eka ho amsande no eko EOCO hono ye ka se sie Ghana Mra HSF 48 hours, which obia. Within that time, one final question quarter, and they release the person on bail. And the Echo Eba since Wednesday, lawyers, Eddie Ikitapudi, Echo, EOCO, and back and forth. And who say, at the end of the Friday, the cashier on making me view interrogation. Now, Mama the bill. Now, Wabishi. So that the rest of the investigation, young person obey Biano. Now, on the Atuaso. And I bet Danny a modus operandi of this government. I bet Danny a crime Mafaso would be crime so or Mafaso. Edited NPP former government appointees. So, what's na the foul? Say, why BB? Yeah, investigation to be boying. That walk on my jaw, I'm what 5-6 hours. Will be so obey leading interrogation on you or cock and swap or quite so over. I said, if I couldn't, why do you go and arrest the person? You can be with 2 times. So I started the whole 24 hours. On your interrogation, on my what now, it's Friday. You also on the bill. Conditions whereby a man former charge any bail condition. Yankwatia Anan M5 60 million bail and Famra.
Could be the one day 50 million. Won't be the no.
Won't you now want me 50 million?
And then just a win 20% of the count.
Aha, 20% of the count.
Because of the dollar appreciation another. I'm
sure, maybe. One of money. Someone. And now, on Monday, 60 million bail Edyatu so with 2 sureties to justify.
Okay.
And on the year, now on the company no, now on the CEO, on a member of the company. On Monday, 30 million bail Edyatu so
90 million
sureties want to justify. And I say, now I buy EOCO. I can't modern for fancy, and you. Would this some animal no? Because we for Ghana Mrapon, it says bail is not to be used to punish people. Bail conditions are not supposed to be used to punish people. It is a backdoor strategy. Okay, what 8 hours? No, you do no. We have you do that threshold, no. But because your political appointee of Nana Danko Akufo Addo NPP, we want to keep the person. Until you have more bail, you say, well, you cannot meet it. Now, say you, you turn like a Hanan. Echo Bank of Ghana, Echo Breaky or vote and come on 50 million bail and factor also. Yeah, tongue me fear any day, a tongue the car cry, song Hanan the car cry. Many shows 60 million in the it is as a conscious country. How does our conscience serve us? The new strategy my way use so it is good for citizens. And yeah, Omo Kwala Amofi 9 years, 5 years, and 3 years. Obano so Eden Fiasi. Papa no Eda hobby. Ono na oye see you. Ono na sign bibia. If you have the man,
but baby, the woman is implicated in the way.
Abatement. Abatement. So I bet you be if I call a better man no. So who would you hold her in custody?
Maybe an abatement of crime, no, you are also equally guilty.
What say?
Maybe abatement of crime, no, you are also equally guilty.
We don't have a problem with that. We don't have a problem with that. Mra yina yetiase. Hanan ni yiri entumi njane enjano. Boni bia wo se ni yiri di no. Na Hanan ena tina konjano so. Nti se uwo Hanana, it covers everybody else, whether ni yiri ana oya. This is just abatement. In time they obey here ni yiri no. Hanan will produce her on Janin Kobibia, Hanan and flight risk. If it to deny the children of their parents, their mothers, especially Uni, then Uncle and Oma Mamma Uncle and Oma Mamma now Yedi Omo Ako Edi Obai Ajano or then Fiasi. I think is the highest level of insensitivity has come across in this government. There's so much line here, so I wouldn't say with a broke conscience. Or much line now, so and I think, in fact, yes, I think this is a dangerous precedent being set by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Ghana for.
Where do you say?
Boom, Jamano.
Salam. Where do you say, Mra? And na Achenda Kotun. Where do you say, and your president, Yasem?
Yoko in your court.
Yes, and your court. Sure.
Ghana ha, Mra and a Yedi Jumah.
Look, right.
Inti say, Omoni Hanan Ewa Sama, Omofan Kwadan court. A court, and in Indi. Go and put your price before the court of law. Say, this is the evidence we have against this person. Say, oh, Wafa, fine, this one and they say Ghana mine sita. Inti, no aid. Now, quarter till Biano Muslim. Now, you know, Omode, the cre, after the beer ever. So we differ with differ. So we did ma with dipping. And no, that is the rule of law. If I say, yeah, no, rule of men, we are seeing, now we are witnessing under John Dramani Mahama, rule of men. So, okay, we will exact justice on NPP 4. We will exact justice before. Inti, Omochowa, they can keep you for 1 week for the sake of interrogation. Say, a backdoor strategy, they say, okay, you have bail. Bail, they say you cannot meet it. Inti, I said, yeah, a 3 amount, but you could tail honorable. No. And it is a very bad way of treating people. Because when you say that should be the power SSR, you'll be treated the same. And I fear And I started to think that the road that we are running down now, I said it's not so. The tables not tenia. Maybe I end so and so mama say, oh, yeah, will be a personal, and yet because the blatant disregard for the law is becoming one too many. Now, you also are assigned to say, oh my God, Master Kofi Jumah. In fact, meaning alert around 10-11, and I mean who notification. And I mean certainty and say, Yakofa Master Kofi Jumah by national security. I'm going to the phones into me, and establish contact with Master Kofi Jumah. But information Yanyan say, fact, no one job much on almost in the call national security. I saw your ewo kumasi because I'm much ewo the fee I ewo kumasi. I'm much on almost no echo or more asaya in Kumasi. Later in the night, and I'm move to a place we suspect of Mundane Eba Accra. Until then, the lawyers, but you shall know. Now you not yet. Because this is about they say I don't need any regard for anyone. You are under arrest.
Na black officer say no what on. Who say na so no on tiapo Kofi Jumah. Okay.
Because I don't have that information to myself, and I don't have the permission of the family members also to speak to him. If maybe you do baby enough information you debate because but you say the won't answer that for no. And one of the thoughts say, I mean, and you Master Kofi Jumah and on your be better. You know mind me. Oto safra no obeba. No, one not last. The same be am one no bisa no. Na hana de no kwa the x-ray. Na watch we when you free, we to free, you saying, not to say, you pa, I will be a lady. Money, basis to arrest people. Why do you arrest people? And now go around fishing for information. They watch and I watch night day and I watch what kind of watch is Boma say. Yeah, and
I don't want to catch that one.
Some of the information on one cover will be a social media. So,
okay.
Almost social media. So, and I don't think that is the way to go because the local court now court say we did the man, even though we did him, but in the court of public opinion, what's anything? You have destroyed and maligned his character, his person, his reputation. And that's why we should be careful when I hear personal. And that's how we end up destroying people's reputations, character, without any just cause, just for the politics of it. And that is a slippery road. And I say tomorrow is pregnant. They should stop it.
Okay.
And work within the confines of the law. That is all.
Oh, okay. Okay. Right.
One issue about major topical issue. Almost all the tabloid na ago fancy. They had a tabloid in the house until
that's right.
A social media portals, the traditional media na ago fancy on it has to do with the press conference. The CJ, former CJ, or call it the suspended CJ.
That's right.
Yeah. And the Neamana or no, maybe the motivation on her part, say she could convince Ghanaians to come to her side to believe, say the processes that has been activated are a lead to the removal a political witch hunt.
That's right.
And for that matter, the people of Ghana should come to her aid. Now, among turning against the government of the day now. Why initiated the process, and in doing so, a man that kind of, if I say, moral boost to be Ebema Ghana for to omono asi aban no so. No maka say oh dear witch hunting and as for them. But that agenda no, it seems it didn't fly and fat.
Really?
And a blow on her face. Yes, Alaska, you can do a case research on the various media platforms.
Very well.
Look at the feedback from people from all levels. You could see clearly so what she did yesterday, was rather a woman was subjecting herself for public mockery.
Public ridicule.
Yes, because you see, this my culture said this is supposed to be a mature woman, not just a mature woman, because her age when you
a grandma.
You've been with the judiciary for quite a long while. There has been a number of high-profile decisions where you involve what give or mobi. There has been a number of decisions that what dear tia man farmer a bukra nam swako obi akono meduru obi papa. That's a high-profile case. What di ama man for machiromo. None of these individuals and I can deem your ruling injustice. Press conference because Chief Makokota may dear Samatia Mintino may press conference against the Chief Justice or the judiciary. What to be that? And for Chief Justice, onim sa nema way na onim say a particular constitutional process has been activated against her, and the process is in motion. Alaska, for her to do what she did, I felt so ashamed and so embarrassed. Why was such a grown woman with all the experiences, will betray her innate wisdom and adopt baby's wisdom? Oh yes,
Ivan.
Alaska, she betrayed her innate wisdom as a judge and adopted baby's wisdom.
That
is exactly what she said, and I'll prove it right to you. Alaska, so her name na na. Me name the na opese o achieve. Said I must say maybe to smear the president because and yes, sir, there is no sense in it. And Alaska, I have listened to a lot of people doing commentary, but there are crucial aspects people are not touching. The woman, Madam Torkonuu, suspended Chief Justice, Osili in the fate. Now, no, Abra, press conference.
Osili.
Oh, she's done. She has demonstrated clearly, sir, she's not fit in terms of character-wise. Or no beer, or what the moral, your friend is saying, integrity, the honesty on her part, or you're devoid of all these basic characteristics here to Emma fit to be Chief Justice, or demonstrated clearly says she lacks all these things. Then now we'll be saying crime ban or fast or obey Chief Justice. Do we have a criteria be at the heart?
That's right.
Yamani pa proven woman who for a judge to be able to away a judge. A judge there may be knowledge into the law and a bit of credibility. But Alaska, we are talking about the administrative head of Ghana's judiciary. You need to provide extra layer of integrity and hope in terms of character. We are very rich. I'm unforbid me rely on you. One, Alaska, so we'll call your constitution. I don't know if you have that. You can read clearly, say, constitution is say you send the petition the comma president. Petition cannot be made public. You can argue, say, because technology advances, people are doing their research and as well. Bits and pieces of it can fly in the media, but there is nobody who can say something about it. So the actors in question, you are banned by the Constitution not to disclose any bit of the content of the way in public. The president hasn't done so, and the Chief Justice isn't supposed to do so. I.e. the other lawyers involved. But Alaska, the administrative head of Ghana's judiciary, the Chief Justice, atom petition, constitutional says should be heard in camera. Being heard in camera, no, it's not about the actors involved.
That's right.
The essence or the spirit behind it, you see, this is a sensitive, high-profile issues. Are very often, the disclosure in the public, can impugn the integrity of the judiciary.
Good.
So very often, the constitutional framers, in their wisdom thought, say, situation like this, we need to do it in camera. I have listened to a lot of people making some arguments. It is fair, say, but this is not the time to be making such argument. Because don't forget, a Chief Justice for how many years?
from 2023.
And Obia we nyansani we reasonable, you could have envisaged the possibility of such situation popping up. So as one of the remedies now betimi suggesting say mahus me ba ye chief justice must carry through the constitution mahus say this are problematic. So my tenure as a chief justice, you know, I'm going to collaborate with the president just to ensure that we review this particular thing. You are an irresponsible leader, and that is what she demonstrated. The constitution says this disclosure should not be made. Mahamadu tam petition no de kojina ya find say in press conference and no read the media content in the media. I know the day no. Sadia na oye no. Eye unconstitutional.
Okay.
And I say ya find say committee ya president ati. So move your Jumah. No mo say chief justice edibem. And the president and friend back no man Jumah. Anybody can petition the president on this particular disclosure where Mami in the press conference just to make sure say we dismiss her. Because the chief justice are breaching a constitutional provision. I had that article now. Actually, say you are not supposed to go public with this. And you see, sadly way I can sit here and comfortably tell you, say leakage na enam space ma. You say petition no, based on what the woman did no. You bet me Jina so akase onim hu bi na petition na babonten because all that she has been doing is she want to push the entire petition to the public space. Sabe ya Ghana for be hu bi.
That's right.
Or the court. Ama Supreme Court bo assembly 2 years say enya wunti na constitution say yenye ade na public. But it is in the interest of the ordinary Ghanaian no wa bonten no. Then how they perceive the judiciary. It is not about you as a chief justice.
That's right.
So your wishes cannot override
the constitution.
The constitution and what it guarantees for the ordinary and the average Ghanaian. And yes, you might deem it unfair. Say, I want it to go public, but there is an explicit constitutional provision on it. Me say you don't need any implicit interpretation to understand that provision. It is quite clear. So the processes must be heard in camera. So Alaska, say Chief Justice for petition, you know. Na all the Bejina public no ridiculous wabumra no mumra.
Wabumra.
And yet you associate between free hall.
That's right.
Good. Petition na ekoso no. Obi betimi atro petition book we ma like newspaper way. Petition kwa. Do you know the propensity abetimi Chief Justice akọ abonten. So Obi raise 2,000 charges against Chief Justice. Say yenyi na dia. Se baako pa yetimi prove a obekofie.
You prove baako pra.
Yes,
that's right.
Se obi ka se mature petition that come president say only chief justice in free ho. Na wa throw 2,000 allegations. If we are able to prove just one, enough for you to go home. And this what the petition na or no comfortable zone we have no petition no the aba no discuss it. No, but you need to discuss the entirety.
Because once I was
exactly, because we don't need one or two. We don't need all the petition to be proven right. Just one pet will be enough to send you packing. Alaska again. Chief Justice say your friend is saying Kwanya President from Mahamadu Bawumia was signed a warrant of dismissal on Tiasie. Now President Mahamadu Bawumia Emrana Dahoya say Yafaso no Yamfaso. Now in the process leading to the establishment of the Premier Fasie, establishing merit and credence, the President Ebu Meraso, and now media for Cheshire. You look them in the face and tell them, say, this is an express constitutional provision by which you think that the actions of the President and the Chief Justice are infringing. The woman as a Chief Justice could not even mention a single infraction.
Even the article, our constitution,
yes,
right.
So she was advertising sheer emotions. Makacha said, this is a woman you could see, say, she appeared a bit broken, emotionally fragile. And our adopted baby's wisdom and original man for him and our advertising raw emotions and how lack of character. And then how on deep candor ewonimu said the city here chira manfo because some now can was subjected to critical scrutiny. You could see clearly say sabi when you dear or your judge dear but idea fene reasoning, logic, common sense, ni nyansa, any nsem no can. Because you see, so we a judge now do a certain level, Alaska. You cannot be dabbling in conspiracy theories. And I will say, and as someone say, you are a lawyer, you speak law, you speak to fact. Yes, substantial, you put you can prove.
That's right.
But if a chief justice can be dabbling in conspiracy theories in the way I say, and I suspect to say in a way, then what will be the ordinary person? The ordinary person better. What are some making? So we achieve justice. So you don't dabble in conspiracy theory because the president says, and I wake up see a you see issues now, bano. You want, and these are the legitimate constitutional issues. I can't want them. And I'll say, petitioners, mother by, you say a friend could be shining star. I'll call registrar general. You register Alaska. Let me say it quite clear, or a chief justice, but maybe on reading constitution and tell you, Alaska, offer your constitution, you know. Provision I case president ever remove chief justice it is written nowhere say obi is a group petition akoma president it should be a registered group
and I say you registrar general
again there is nowhere I case say obi petition akoma president I say if you would deem crown or the can all that the constitution mention is receiving a petition. But my catcher say yeah nipa per the details of principles of natural justice, the kiziwa you must know your accuser.
Okay.
That is why you're making it say okay, so we the petition, but we need to identify the person. Na who say nipa na mpa we nipa our petition free no hoeba na asem bi duru a yetime bisa no. But constitutionally, I want anybody to come and challenge this. There is nowhere I can say you must name yourself, but in implementing it, and putting human face on it, yentimi nkasa Alaska obi the petition bra Ato Forson yampamo na yenhu nipa kro. And you're fair to you, boy. You need to know who accused you.
That's right.
It's the reason why yakase the person must be known. Now, Cecilia, your friend say, Charlotte say, petition no more the pamon no. Besin ne, everywhere people didn't know the petition.
I was a faceless petitioner.
Besin ne, what I say. So that is why you should know say point Nana Maminu making was irrelevant and her as a chief justice should have known better. Again, I say, you didn't call Edu's Lodge. Now you acquire Sachini baby next time. Omunya kwan even the panties krom on search him because Alaska she has demonstrated bad faith because issues now you see EOCO is not supposed to be public. Already you've gone to court seeking injunction say adiyameye no TV so the probability say you smuggle in gadget to go and record whatever happened there to come and play for whatever is high.
Right.
So obi searchewa you cannot fault that person who is searching you.
Wow.
What does Sammy make?
That's right.
Because this is a woman fighting the court to say
Emra TV
so and a court to about wagu. So what is the assurance say ye jaiwa umfa phone in as a phone call record the proceeding for Mabonting? Because and you have demonstrated that by doing a press conference talking about the petition. Until obi search our airborne.
And are you restricting this out the Babonting?
Exactly.
Wow.
Again, I say Edu's Lodge I bring bad memories. Nana what for that is absolute nonsense. That is rubbish.
Oh how?
Alaska. We are talking about somebody who will be accused you. Yes, a committee investigating. You don't determine where you sit. Who cares about your uncle memory? Now wouldn't my mom for uncle memory hand yomo? The very people caught to jail you or go prison as for do you know how people are being handed there? Alaska, who cares about your emotional feelings? 2.3. About so she deliberately caved in the killing of the judges and link it to the present NDC government just to make people know say judges some time ago. So that was the impact of the message, a coded word and all the share.
Wow.
Who cares about your feeling? It is not about your feeling. I expect that the Chief Justice will contest key issues, non-discussing the merit. Yababa Alaska Afi or say, why ya my ne Ninuanom judge for no Moti Supreme Court Akumiano Sono Obu Bonimtia, making look like say they are just some Niamafumbi, especially right. Justice Ponamai. Justice Ponamai was at the Supreme Court before this lady came in. or you senior. Bibi na ye bibi ntia and abesene no ho. Ebe ye your friend say Chief Justice. Bafo Boni has been at the Yeve for very long time. Over 2 munyina. But oba no, you were treating them like rags because so hena no a the ye we no omunipa.
Oh sir.
Oh yes.
Na no keke.
Oh na wu enra no say wadwo. Wu ni post and post utimi say why utimi say boga ye mere. Because this is a typical arrogant woman who doesn't give a damn about anybody. She thinks that she's sitting on the moon or the sky. Obia should bow down. Who kind of us will address it Justice Ponamine and other people.
That's right.
And the argument in say Justice Ponamine and no kwatena case involve Daniel Ofori. Now really no more no. Justice Ponamine wrote to you have a right dissenting view. The honorable ruling in favor of Daniel Ofori. In the case ya besin ko. Enti enno enam say Justice Ponamine ruling for Justice Ofori Paintino to her no onye fit to sit as a chair of the committee. That is absolutely nonsense. Because Alaska, this is a chief justice and an administrative head. You should be able to vouch for the integrity of your core people. So are they telling us that Obi a judge, you know, dear Sama Alaska, and you will create a fraternal alliance with you to the sense that case be a media amount. Is that the kind of judiciary she was supervising? Say Obidia Samobia, then you build a family or some kind of a fraternal alliance with the person. Say subsequent issue be and you will be biased. So if the chief justice, man, America say and run no expose soon who actually Ghana for say on your fit for purpose. Because Alaska, if the chief justice of the Republic of Ghana cannot guarantee the integrity and the honesty and the fidelity of her own colleagues, oh no more panel no so. Do you expect here to trust any judge?
Baby,
FM 92.3
Chief Justice or no say omobeye bias etiano. And she is scared of her own colleagues. And the obi ono tie kurasi ananse ohini bi a ote ebi anungwa bi ode na sa say sem Elko Supreme Court no. You want that ohene no to have faith in the judiciary when Chief Justice Rankasa no doesn't have faith. Does it make sense?
If you are what you can nipa no nyi omundi.
Alaska, my mensan kan asem bi afei osan soro ya o say your friend is saying yes what to kwan na o to kwan no yes o de ne kunu ne man koye na constitution na create allowance say o to kwan a o say o de security ekọ na security no wasn't mentioned the here security no cha say o do obi be kan ho na o de na akọ. Alaska, maka just say we chief justice o ne wo ho.
That's right.
When you are traveling out there in a private capacity in a bra we are Jumah state, you know, because don't forget Ghana so no yanso your friend is saying security people are Jumah outside though. So even in the shadow, just like the CIA have spies everywhere in Ghana, is Obi. So you can be a chief justice, you'll be walking London. Nipa no mo nam ho mo kono be akwa no security di wachi. We have these things in place. But when you are going for your private things, they say go with the security because we don't stop here to be a chief justice. We are Ghana for chief justice in as much as we call private way, no.
That's right.
Even though it is private, be towa. I can't Ghana for because obi betimi akwache would akwache baby and they will force you to divulge details. Secret be any say babonten. I don't know that you hurt the country. It's the reason why they said who to find even in your private capacity for security can ho. Now when you can say security back one and to be but symbolically no representing BB. Now nobody betimi BB. And go with somebody on 2 separate occasions. You could try plane ticket ma we oba. On another occasion, you could try plane ticket ma ukuno. Et tia pedium ne na for the maomo. Enya do mahama na ko chro to ho se ye sa ade no aye bone nti obi metro petition. The audit service of this country audited you and they wrote a report on it and they flagged that thing. So who will be blamed now? Go and blame the judicial service. And yet John Mahama na kasa why about it. The audit report is available. They wrote and concluded say Saturday na chief justice no ego and the money must be retrieved. One kasa bedi one dance say uko sika no ya ma obi kodi ya sign the bye
council sir
and I sit down with your conscience and how this can be beba so obi ka say yan petition ne mrawa obone o maye ne say and again Alaska Supreme Court na Chief Justice is supervising over no okay Justice Gawo se hwan no
yaw
yes amokofa na ba ya
how is it Gawo
me da medin mi trimoni ye
ya
fancy Gawo ya fan ya fancy sorry na ya fancy lawyer for the Speaker of Parliament raise papa we minim no ona no ye parliamentary candidate for NPP e wo ho central. So about say na such a high profile issue a political tentacles no our political way no would not better so Chief Justice am fana say so ho na nye politics no mo ye no constitution.
That's right.
So maybe say na say committee no matia or more investigate Chief Justice no a political issue.
No na
Jumah papa te so bi ne ma mete so bi and I say dun ketia te so chama say chama for example for kan ho bi.
That's right.
So what makes it political? Nipa no mugusu no obi wa political identity domlivo a politician so there na man political way o yonko judges too so I'm saying that the woman should just shut up and face the process. Either you quit because process no koso unyam free mu. So what is the point coming to the public to talk about the things that she said? And again I say nsam no me we fi bia kai me I say amanfo sende no your friend say threat messages na say on resign na position no ya is untenable na for Alaska what has to see obi send a message say radio ya what is so from Monday going obetena so a ombeku ade na wo ye
we must go to the police.
So you as an ordinary person himself you threaten wa okọ police who how much boy Chief Justice entimin catch say enye baby's wisdom no adopt ya you will not disclose some of these things in public because you know what to do. You can only tell the media say a man for a threaten me, my report to the police, and this is the update on it. If people are threatening you to resign from your position, and your media say, a criminal issue, and I will sympathize with you, go and report to the CID and any of the investigative bodies for them to take the issue up.
That's right.
So you don't come and add it up and make it look like Obina threatening. And again, I say, Kwanya President Mahamadu Bawumia establish a premier fast no omo Gyamfi anyway and I make catch say me too amount for say wunya tumi a yeah people should come down from the high horses na yama ya dwen enya adwuma Alaska matena ha ka kira we lot say 1992 constitution no outlive the usefulness. There are several portions of it and here any linkage to maybe I call in there we are say by. So it is important we look at those essential aspects na ye amend. Alaska ya tina kroma me catch ra say ye ka say ye establish a premier facia in a case ya submit akwa president. The constitution you know any procedural arrangement be or there to say
that's right.
We move from A, we move to B, we move to C. Yes, people can speak to a judicial president, but judicial president is not binding on another judge.
Okay,
they can only take inspiration or maybe take a cue from it, but it doesn't bind them
as a reference.
Yes, you can depart from the earlier ruling and set a new precedent. You understand? So say Chief Justice say process na President Mahamadu Bawumia or the koyaya or the sign warrant man illegal. I'm saying illegal on what basis? Because constitution said the president will receive a petition, forward same to Council of State. Council of State will delve deeper into the issue and report back to the president. This known process justice there come former Lamte Alaska. The process obia circumventing know the process and it's a Chief Justice in himself. Sa process no aye an error ne a time as a Chief Justice she could have caused that particular thing to be regularized in such a way say in establishing a premier facie we need to go through this procedural arrangement and sana yet me can say indeed there is credit, there is merit. She didn't do any of these things. Now what I didn't have two bobo then you are telling people say the president aired. I'm telling you, say the president never aired anywhere because they laid down procedures now over the years. That is what he did.
I see are politically motivated.
In what sense? In her twisted mind, that is what she thinks. Because at the end of the day, Alaska, I will send you the ruling. Supreme Court a ruling on her case,
Okay.
I've been posting episodes on it on Facebook. And I say, who read it? Your friends that the ruling now, it will be very interesting.
Wow.
The young judge for I can't say, the wishes now, I think say that is the law, no, that is not the law. On one, the young judges can't say, Nsabna Okikano, I am the personal wishes and emotions and feelings, and she cannot substitute that particular thing for the law.
Wow.
So the mere fact that yeah judge and no doesn't mean say we wouldn't be our Alaska. That is why your panel.
That's what no mama no why you born into oma born na to her.
Alaska.
The question say wa na wo do ho aba. No, what I mean is that once we boom raso for years.
Yeah, for sure.
So afena yedim rano edi.
And what she was doing, as to whether it's lawful or not, it clearly means that to them, no, it was unlawful.
Exactly.
So it's now time for her to face what is the law.
Exactly.
And that is what they are doing.
Good.
So and there be am catch say unya to me now baby treat nipa well.
That's right.
Because accept to you need nipa never can be amount. The press conference just try to whip public sentiment,
That's right.
Alaska, why na who say what year general all come and NPP no mo bo aboso no mo defend the chief justice and who more baby.
Because
the people defend you have no credibility. And then John Mahama what's me na emfa. Do you know why? The gentleman was president, was assaulted, was everything was done to him. He comes back to become president. This time, there is a lot of goodwill on his side.
Exactly.
Things are going positively for him. And for you to turn the tide against him, you need to have a substantial tenor. And you know, so I bet him that convince Ghana for say, Papa, I dear oye in the pabon sem. And Ghana for you should come to my aid. Won't to meeting if you are Ghana for sorry, no tatama mamvodino. Exactly. So sanity. So you see. Answer now ride against the tide, it means that you have something substantial. But to the average Ghanaian now, friend, Alaska, Ghana need that say birth certificate and your primary document, a passport.
That's right.
Average Ghanaian, Makola woman who say, "Sa really no Sabinyan Sabi," it was coming from the Supreme Court, and you want them to respect you. And the Obiti baby no say. We need to reset the judiciary. Ghana, will fall for that particular thing.
For sure.
Ghana, we see Ghana card never qualify for way, And or your foreigner, or then about your age. And a foreigner.
Alaska.
Yes, sir.
Ghana for Uncle Law School, the Ghana Uncle Law School, Supreme Court the ruling back. Now what Transaka said, this is absolute rubbish.
That's right.
Because Nyansa from the Supreme Court or not even lower court. And that person ni dream ni say be making sure say yes sanitize the judiciary na a look better na a serve purpose. You think that Ghana will come to your aid when you have nothing sensible to say? Alaska, Ghana for are sick and tired of some of these trash and some no can obetimi kai me bianca be me de unse dawson
ya be sa kwa ba
enti some na all broso no makacho say it was a politically staged emotionally driven kind of attention shopping stunt and but unfortunately for her emfa come akacha say wunya public office tena na we wa gye say wo mu nipa wo di tumi ni bedim kras sem asora tena nipa so aye ho sasabi wo so ageman ebi maada Alaska emre bi beduru obeye mobo and that is exactly what she's going through
obetu bread food
asam na all can say free say Ghana yes set your constitution chief justice bi anu ha subject to na Alaska nti
there's always first in first
na Alaska the mere fact say yenye obi dan doesn't mean say ntimi mfa nyew and some na mrantie no ka no ewo nyina so na some ba kon san kan say o say dan for issue na mo de ne call court no ye nyina ye judges ne akotena se ne edi asem nti aba ne say na judicial ruling no they have this way about judicial immunity from ruling and adentina sama wakotena so wadi no obi betimi agina sa asem no so and actual petition Alaska let me answer that particular thing she's lying because yakasa judicial ruling and our judicial proceedings are terminate the very moment a ruling is read in court
okay
on it on it your friends police in the issue no. The ruling was read and that ended the matter. The gentleman was about leaving the courtroom. And so okay ruling over can't say after the proceedings no one will off record comment. So off record comments now cannot be captured to be part of a judicial ruling proceedings. I need to enjoy immunity. I don't know whether you get a point.
That's right.
Because proceeding no more ruling what buana for and I will catch a man for say or you're incompetent. Now some no sort as a lawyer no he's supposed to know better. Yes, that cannot be part of a judicial process. I didn't you think you enjoy immunity. And Alaska, Chief Justice is a liar. Oh yes.
Oh, why are you calling
him? I'm telling you, sir, or lack integrity, and she cannot be Chief Justice. Now, no, some now original so not all cannot. The biggest of it all, they say, how can you ask me to come and appear before a committee and I don't know my charges?
That's right.
And the petitioner no reading no, na Quran.
Because.
I'm asking you, petitioner na otchere mu no na Quran.
How did she get it?
Alaska, na Quran.
A petition.
Na there na otchere letter come out President Mahama o man a copy or respond there no. Eno so na Bible.
Ato FM.
O say onim adentia committee na trans issue na ye di no. Onim ho hwe. Ghana for momra. John Mahama say yentume.
Or film version of Untumi.
Yeah, for sure.
You see,
for sure.
We saw a comic version of the Chief Justice. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, sir. That person or lack candor or lack integrity, and you can never trust her because beginning I one actual letter come out president say on my copy, and at that time I told you, sir. President shouldn't have given her a copy.
Yes,
because constitution, you know, and making allowance for that. You wait till we set up a committee and sign. But na woman no catch you be say only copy of Nema Ekoso. And Ghana force you come to her aid. I didn't say you didn't some not charges against her and only when in the past you are more a copy of the petition, you've responded to the petition and you are even discussing the content of the petition against the law of the land. Today you are telling people say you don't know content of the petition. Can you trust that person?
No.
So you see, she's a politician.
Oh
yes,
I'm a politician.
Yes, and this whole process, she has been exercising a number of silly decisions. They are not in line with high-profile Chief Justice. Alaska, issue here because one kasa man for to din say we your son mama. Whether you admit or you don't. It means that politically, you know, there has been a certain profiling, a certain characterization that also. My cat is a politics, perception is everything.
Sure.
So in doing so and having this in mind, you know, so your lawyer, you don't go for immediate past your friends, attorney general, or you're known to the party. You see, you have the right to go, but intellectually, a very weak discretion to exercise.
Exactly.
So, Ebasa, you only justify and some amount for a canon.
Affirm what?
Yes, the perception people have said, on your one echo. An issue by people who have been taking court upon court upon court are the same people. You see, decisions now echo sunina, your decisions are frauded with a lot of way. And again, issues now you can say, who's that the who here no one can with me time judicial contract now they are ma so sourcing. Obaba. Say on supply nkonwa na or more dining table mbedidi no
I know one ka baby also say be man public sympathy no
on kan ho asem Alaska. So I think say woman no she's a drama woman or a drama woman and we see nema na oye no press conference no oye no so no akotena so no odwene obo hu sabi she acted on baby's brain. Wisdom. She acted on baby's wisdom because feedback, you know, a backlash. Sabi, one kokranke,
right?
But me say, I photo ni say, I did start here, so but now I'll be very honest. I sat here and I told you, sir, the woman should resign. Say, be ya unsubjecting who to public mortification.
But I say, oh yes, sir, obe losing all the entitlement.
Now the eke can't quit the obeying entitlement. Because at the end of the day, the ruling is better than Bible thing. People are going to read details of everything that happened. and you think, and that thing is going to be very dirty, it will destroy your reputation, it's going to be on the record, say, when we are the first Chief Justice under the Fourth Republic, and you are the first Chief Justice, Wobu Mraso, and Mra known, say, what the petitioner supposed to be public, you know, what the TV so I come once, Makacho say, even if this process is on retina, there will be another petition on this matter. I will boom Mraso, I know so call for her removal. And to obey too for say, quiet press conference, Nipano, what two, what bua brabo, what yada. What two of to pan answer or two of to bonnet.
Right.
Alaska, some of these people know whom I can't just say. The mere fact that you are there, it doesn't mean that you know everything. Or maybe they need consultant in terms of making basic common sense decision as a forum. Open door like a crabby bar, we will help you in some of these things. Alaska.
Right.
Alaska, I feel ashamed that Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana will stand in front of camera and be making such childish allegations, such infantile revelations, things that are not supposed to be speculating, throwing conspiracy theories here and there. Yeah, and yet befitting of somebody of her status. And for me, whoever that is advising her, no, she will accept to. And the other question maybe that or Kotena committee in an beam. And or Kotena just the Panamanian and Crow for an beam. Dear why? You don't do this.
I even tell innocent now, Tenant Kite.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.